Welcome to Live It Up. We have Kelsey Pope with us today. Let me tell you how we got connected. So we have a mutual friend who sent me a link to a podcast that Kelsey was a part of, where she was giving financial advice and also some travel tips. I was super impressed. So I reached out to Kelsey to see if she'd be part of my YouTube series, and I am so thankful that she accepted my invitation. Welcome, Kelsey.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for reaching out.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm from California, originally Riverside. I have a degree in kinesiology. I wanted to be able to travel during college. And so the budget was kind of essential.
Okay, so Kelsey, tell us, how are you thriving in this season, this COVID season that we're in? Because I remember hearing through the podcast that you lost one of your jobs.
I took that to my full-time job, or to my hopefully soon-to-be full-time job, and asked them if I could go full-time, and then also asked if I could have a pretty substantial raise. And with that, we had negotiation, and so it ended up being a tiered raise. And so I was like, okay, by January 1st, I want to be at this point. And so it's going to equate to about every 3 months. Well, I guess the last one just happened on October 1st. And then the next one, the final one of where I want to be, will happen January 1st.
Wow, that takes a lot of guts, especially in this season, to ask to be full-time and for a raise.
Yeah, definitely. I was ready for a no on the raise. I knew that they could probably do full-time just because of what the workload was part-time. But definitely, it's always scary. I don't know if it's just scary for women in general, but it's scary to ask for a raise and to ask for, to monetize kind of anything as women. It's intimidating.
And how old are you?
I'm 25.
25. Wow, you definitely have a bright future ahead. I know that already with just the decisions that you're making.
I've always had multiple jobs. When I turned 15, I was babysitting, and that's kind of how I got into it. I started at my church's nursery and then went from those families and then moved on. So I was always working for multiple families at one time, which helped me be able to diversify. It helped me be able to compartmentalize between each family. So then as I got older, and my skills kind of diversified, I started a consulting business. So I help therapists who are solo practitioners streamline their practices. Obviously the full-time job is at a counseling office as well. I've done some photography, which is just casual photography and modeling, the babysitting and the pet sitting, that kind of molded into they need a nanny to go with them to on trips, or they need someone to organize their business. All of these side hustles kind of morphed into other side hustles.
Oh, wow. And I remember you said that you had the opportunity to dog sit in Hawaii.
That's I think that's one of the cool things about your platform is living it up. When you get an opportunity to do a side hustle that you ideally I want to be a physical therapist, but I know that that's going to take time. I'm applying to grad schools right now, and so in the meantime, there's all these different things that I think some people would say that they might detract from the main goal, but really it's okay, I've been a nanny for 10 years, so I'm great with kids, and that will help me eventually. Or I've gotten great travel opportunities because I'll say yes to pet sitting in Hawaii, or I'll say yes to pet sitting I was in a pet sit in Utah this week before COVID happened. So I think, with your platform, as far as living it up, even if it doesn't seem like your specific goal, if it can still work and not detract from your main goal, then live it up and do it. Because that builds experience and it's so fun.
Wow, I love that. You never know what doors will open from you just being available and saying, I'm going to try this out, see how it goes. You just never know.
Yeah, and that's a crucial part as far as pivoting in COVID too. If you're open to opportunities, 90% of the time people want to help you, but you have to be open and be like, after this interview, I'm grandma sitting until the end of the week because somebody needed my help. And I was like, yeah, I'll help you. Like, absolutely. So I think one of the things, I guess, if people are trying to have multiple side hustles, I would definitely suggest to start slow, because my friends are always saying, like, you're the busiest person I know. I'm like, yeah, 7:30 I'm doing this, 8:30 I'm doing this, like 10:30 I'm doing this. But having a kind of structured life also lets me, like, you know, live it up, where I can be like, okay, after 3:30 I'm free because I've already worked 10 hours, you know?
So tell us, what are some of your top financial tips, if you will?
That like Scott's Cheap Flights is where I get all of my flights from. Referrals are great too. Like, if you are really good at Airbnb, then, like, if you hear about your friend if you hear about your friend heading somewhere, you send them like your referral link for Airbnb. If you do Stitch Fix, you send your referral to all of these friends to, like, have, you know, the rewards points. Another option is, we just went to Alaska for the weekend, just for Labor Day weekend. So one, saving money and saving my budgeting tips is just have really small trips, because then you're not taking time off. And we did a buy one get one free to Alaskan Airlines, and so then we just split the cost of that one ticket between the two of us.
Wow, beautiful pictures too. Beautiful fall pictures.
Yeah, it was so gorgeous. I haven't been to Alaska. I think I was there when I was really little, but I don't really remember it. And so it was just gorgeous. That's another good point, is if you're traveling off season, like if you don't have kids, go when the kids are in school, because we got like 50% COVID discounts for like all the cabins that we were staying at. Everything was like 50% off because nobody was going to Alaska because of COVID. You have to do a test. So like the chances of getting COVID there is super slim because you're outside most of the time. You have to take a test before you get on the plane, all that stuff. And then you get really good discounts and nobody's around. So it's kind of the win-win. If you're interested, my Instagram's Carry On with Kels. But as far as traveling, I have multiple bank accounts, and so I'll have my one bank account that gets like my paycheck in, and then I know how much my living expenses cost me for those 2 weeks because I have a budget. And so everything else, one goes into my financial goals account, one goes into my like lifestyle account, which would be, you know, if I want to buy new clothes, or if I'm traveling, you know, saving it for a trip, which I'm always saving it for a trip. And then the other one is just like plain old savings and emergency savings. So divvying up every single time I get that paycheck, because especially with having multiple jobs, there's not always, I always have a consistent income with my like full-time job, but any other side hustle goes straight into one of those accounts.
So tell us, what are some of your long-term goals?
Yeah, I am pretty flexible with my long-term goals as of right now. Within the next year, I would like to have a share portfolio of like $10,000. And then once I achieve that, I think I'm at like 3 or 4 now. Once I achieve that, then I want to start saving up for an investment property. As far as like professionally, I think I'm going to continue my consulting gigs and try to get more therapist clients through the consulting, and then hopefully also get into PT school. That's the plan for that, and that will revolutionize my life because I've been working so hard on trying to get in there.
Yeah, good luck with that. You're on your way. We're all rooting for you.
One of the things that I think is really cool about your channel is that the live it up is like living your best life. And I think that that's really exciting and really important to remember is, for example, like all of my friends are like, oh, I want to travel with you. And I'm like, okay, in November, we're going to the 3 national parks in Florida. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this, 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 and this. Mm-hmm. And so my friends were like, whoa, like I need a way more like chill trip than that. And I'm like, okay, like that's fine. So just don't compare yourself to others and like find your way of living it up, and don't compare yourself to me. Find your best way of like living your best life.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Kelsey, for your time, for your advice. You are truly an inspiration. Until next time,
live it up.
You got it, Kelsey. See you all later. Bye.